All right. Let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakakudash. Right. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Bahashem in the name of Yahweh Shai. Right. The name of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, rule well, GMS, from the elder apostle to all down, rule well. And the sincere salutations to you hopeful elect brothers out there who are preaching this word, the word and doctrine of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all throughout the four winds of the earth. So this is just a quick lesson, however long the Spirit has me to go into it regarding this woman right here. Okay, now if you look, they call this the Statue of Liberty, when in reality, this is the Roman goddess Libertas, if I'm saying that correctly. So before we look at some of these images, I'm going to read Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 in verse 11. Though he humble himself, right, the self-proclaimed white man, and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So we can see we've been given the eye salve through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai to know what's going on. Okay, we on your ass, Esau. And see, this is the worst possible thing for him. Us having a internet connection. So as you can see, let me click here. So this is the typical image that you see of the Statue of Liberty, right? This is world or not. People travel all over the world to see this right here. When in reality, this is Libertas, right? Like if you look on the back of the coins that we have, which basically just mimics, Roman coins, you'll notice, okay, these two look exactly the same. Basically, they call it the Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty. So we're going to go into the next screen here. Forgive me. All right, so this is Columbia, the personification, right? All right, it says that Columbia is the female national personification of the United States. So that's the spirit that, this place is, that's the spirit that basically represents America, right? This woman, that ultimately this place has the spirit of a woman, right? Because this place is named after Amerigo Vespucci, yet it's called America with an A. It says it's the female national personification of the United States. It was also a historical name applied to the Americas and to the New World. The association has given rise in the names of many American places, objects, institutions, and companies. Okay, including the District of Columbia, which is our nation's capital. Right. Images of the Statue of Liberty, liberty enlightening the world. See, this is basically like it really is more than just a statue, right? People are crying and shit, when they came across on them boats, they're crying. Okay. It says largely displaced, personified Columbia as the female symbol of the United States, although Lady Liberty was seen as an aspect of Columbia. All right, and then it goes into, the image of the lady with the torch above her head, the one from the movies. So I'm not gonna go too much into it, but as you can see here, it says this 1872 painting, American Progress, depicts Columbia as the spirit of the frontier. Okay, so there you go. Once again, this is spiritual. Okay, it says in 1791, 3 commissioners appointed by President George Washington named the area destined for the seat of the United States government the Territory of Columbia. In 1801, it was organized as the District of Columbia. Okay, there are 19 other towns in the United States that have the name Columbia, right? You got Columbia College. Okay, you have the Ivy League, Columbia University. Okay, it says it exemplified in tendency to use Roman terms and symbols. And it just goes more into the personification. And see all these images right here. All of these images goes back to that Roman goddess, Libertas. And also, right, Britannia. Okay, it says Britannia is the national personification of Britain as a helmeted female warrior holding a trident and a shield. Right, you have Germania is the personification of the German nation. Right, which also see all these women, right? The goddess of democracy, right? The spirit of democracy, the goddess of liberty, right? Italia Torita. All of this goes back to Rome, right? All these different Marianne has been the national personification of the French Republic. Oh, also, okay, Mother Russia. Which, if you notice, all of these, okay, the British, the Germans, the Italians, the Russians, those are all Edomites. So we can tell that, it's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, we can tell that these are all basically the same. This is all the same spirit. So let's go back. Let's go. So they also had a statue called the Colossus of Rhodes. Okay, I'm looking for this specific article. Slovakia. All right, it says the Colossus of Rhodes was a huge statue built to honor the ancient Greek god of the sun, Helios. The people of the city of Rhodes in Greece were saved from a terrible siege and built the statue, so on and so forth. So when you look at it, right, it basically is the same dimensions. It's basically the same dimensions as the Statue of Liberty. It basically looks exactly the same. Also, so I'm gonna get the Strong's definition for Rome, because I looked it up yesterday and it said upper, along with some other words. So let's see. Let's see what comes up. So strong. So this is Strong's G4516. All right, Horome. Uh, it says, and actually, let me share this. Share this on the screen, Salakia. All right, so once again, Rome. All right, the word Rome equals strength, and the famous capital of the ancient world. Right. Oh, and that just shows all the different instances and whatnot in which the word Rome shows up. But once again, strength. Okay, which once again it's portrayed as a strong, vibrant, spirit, which is coming in the spirit of a woman. This was in Revelation 13, which a lot of the audio from that last video last night, I looked over it and it didn't come in, so audio was messing up. Okay, so I looked up to worship. No, the looked up was healed. Therapio, which is where you get the word therapy, right? It says to serve, to do service, to heal, cure, restore to health, right? Therapeo. It says to wait upon menially, to adore, figuratively to adore, as a god, or especially to relieve, cure, heal, worship. So we go back to the instance in which that's spoken, right? Romans 13 and 12. It says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Which, as we were taught, this is speaking about Rome. So, right, when we were speaking about worship, right, or speaking about this healing. Okay, this is basically a revitalization, worshiping, of this empire, which 2,000 plus years ago our Lord, was uh, basically, basically while our Lord was alive, that was like basically the height of the Roman Empire, and then of course, you had its fall, so to speak, but it never really went anywhere. It just kind of morphed itself, right? Which, going back to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 11, right? Speaking about him humbling himself, speaking about him crouching. Okay, now he's turned himself into what? He's turned himself into the uh, American, right? Which really a Roman and an American is essentially the same thing. Just like a German, a Russian, whatever the case is, Edomites, right? Because when you hear the word American, you think of the so-called white man. You think of or the so-called white woman also, you know, strength. Just like how it says that Rome means strength. Let's look up the word for power. Oh, there we go. Power. All right, part of speech. Well, Salakia, this is Strong's G1849. It says exousia. Exousia is a feminine noun. Power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases with. Hey, so there you go. Which basically that's Satanism, right? You can do whatever you want, leave or permission, right? Because once again, the power to do these certain things, right? Physical and mental power. It says the power of authority, influence, and of right privilege, the power of rule or government. Okay. Authority over mankind, specifically the power of judicial decisions, of authority to manage domestic affairs. Okay. Metonymically, a thing subject to authority or rule, jurisdiction of one who possesses authority, a ruler, a human magistrate. Who's running the earth? Who's running the earth, man? We all know who's running the earth. The self-proclaimed white man, right? It says the leading and more power. So like the leading and more powerful among created beings, superior to man, spiritual potentates. A sign of the husband's authority over his wife. All right, it says the sign of regal authority, crown. So let's go to that image. Let's go to that image once again. So you can look. So you can look and see. Okay, she's wearing a crown, right? It's right there. Okay, she's holding the torch. Basically, hey, she's lighting the way, right? She's illuminated. So right here you have coins. You have Roman coins, which is actually a image. It's actually an image from that documentary that I have over here. All right. So on this Fall of Rome documentary, this is the decline of the Antoninians, which is basically their coins. That's an old Roman coin. So you can see on the front you have the Caesar or a ruler, right? What is he doing? He's wearing the crown. So today, what you would have is a president, right? You would have let's 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 get the definition for president. All right, so the definition for a president, right, is the elected head of a republic, the head of a society, council, or other organization. So that's just another word for Caesar, right? Because even back in the times of Rome, you had Caesars, you had a senate, and ultimately the Caesar or the president was basically a head. right? It says the president serves as America's moral compass and the living symbol of our country, right? So when when you have a representation of the country, okay, they send the president, just like Persia had a Caesar, but he wasn't called a Caesar. He was called an emperor or whatever, ruler, whatever the case is. And that's what we have now, which is which is president. But anyways, on the back of this coin, you have you know, this same quote unquote mysterious woman on the back of here doing what? Okay, and you can tell that this is a woman because of how she's standing. She kind of got she got the kind of dip in her hip. She's got the what's perceived to be like a crown on, right? You can see I don't know what she's holding, but anywho, this is that same woman that's on the back of our of our current coins. So let's get some images as far as what's on the back. I'm looking for a specific image here. All right, so here we go. Let me go ahead and share this. This is all over the place. Forgive me. So as you can see on these coins, you have the $50. You have a pre 1921, silver dollar. You have these old dimes, right? You have these American gold coins, and of course, when you look on the front, you have this same woman, right? You even got, okay, if you look at the top, it says right above her head, okay, Liberty. It's got and not only that, this is the self-proclaimed white woman. We gotta mention that also. Okay. That's an important thing to note. Right? Silver dollar, whatnot. See, when you look at these images, right? These are basically Caesars right here. These are these are the people who are presiding. Yeah. All right, so to preside means to be in charge. It says to be in a position of authority in a meeting or other gathering. in this video by showing an image of the Colossus of Rhodes. Once again, this wasn't meant to be this long, but hey, that's the spirit. All right, so that's that image of the Colossus of Rhodes, which basically, if you look at it, same dimensions. I was reading a article where it was speaking about the height of the Colossus of Rhodes, and how basically the height is exactly the same height as the Statue of Liberty, all the same dimensions and whatnot. Oh well, actually, let me actually bring up Revelation 13:16, right? Which is going to explain the ultimate level of worship. He's going to be to take that chip. All right. So going down, so I read Revelation 13 and 14, right? We spoke about this, revitalization, which, today the Roman Empire, so I can, my nose. Today the Roman Empire would consist of NATO and the EU. Okay, that is the beast that is speaking about in the book of Revelation. So Revelation 13 and 15 through 16. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So how is it going to lead to this point? Okay, this is going to tell you. Because see, if you don't take it, if you don't take the chip, they're going to be threatening you with being beheaded. Okay, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And elder apostles and brothers constantly go into the see, this is the spirit, because I was going to click on Mark, but if you look here, you have charagma, right, which is that mark, and then you have in epi, right, like how you have the word epidermis. The water Yahweh shot, man. Okay, the water Yahweh shot. So you have the word mark, charagma, in, right? Epi. So the mark is going to go in the skin, right? And it's going to go into your right hand. So you have the word dexios, right? Which once again, this is all through the spirit. So I believe that's tied to the word dexterity, right? Dexios. Which let's get. All right, dexterity, skill in performing tasks, especially with the hands. Okay, so there you go. Sure enough, just to all right. It also says in the Greek that dexi, right, means to worship. Right. So in order to worship uh, the beast, in order to be a part of this society, you're gonna have to take that chip. Which those who take it, you're gonna be fucking destroyed. Right. As far as Israelites, now the rest of the nations, hey, fuck it, they can take it. Don't matter. But we're speaking about Israel. But 2/3, it's already prophesied that 2/3 of Israel is going to take that charagma. I also have to mention that it speaks about their foreheads. So let's get the let's get the Strongs. All right, forehead, the space between the eyes, the forehead. Okay, the face. There you go. So it's very self-explanatory. Okay, they want your hand chipped up. They want your head chipped up. That's the end goal that they're going to. All right, so with that, Lord's will, you were edified. Okay, call halal Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Ha Rekah Quadash. Double honors once again to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Rule well, teach well, from the elder apostle to on down. You taught me this truth, and honors to you, brothers, who are pushing this word, the words and doctrine of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai throughout the four winds of the earth. Okay, this is your brother Gawar Ira. And look, watch out for this chip, man. See, we this may be a whole nother this may just be a whole nother lesson going into specifically, these different definitions. And it's something that's constantly harped on. It's something that's only brought up by Great Millstone. Okay, now you got certain other camps that so I can bring it up, but they're not going into the definitions. They're not they're not speaking on it really. Okay, most of these other individuals, they say that the mark is sin, the mark is whoop de whoop. Yet we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai that this mark is the RFID micro C hip. Okay, and we know that it's coming. We have to constantly be on the lookout for that. There's actually an article which I don't know if I'm able to share it. Let me see if I can find it. that the brother Lakma from the camp out in Mobile had put up. Let's see if I can type it in. So I don't know if it'll let you click on it. Probably not. If anything, this will give you a little reference point to look up. Which that's not going to matter because they're gonna push they're gonna push this on a federal level, which of course the federal level overshadows the state level. So the states can say all they want to. Oh, you can't see him. They're gonna do it anyways because of course that's prophecy. All right. So once again, with that, Lord's will, you're edified. Call Allah Yabashim Shabashim Harakakudash. Shalom.